Hi! So today I am going to talk to you about Frozen 2. And Olaf's here to join me because he's adorable. Look at his carrot nose, it's so cute. I am going to start by making it very clear that there is going to be spoilers in this review. So if you don't want any spoilers, do not have a go at me afterwards. Told you now, so you can get off of here and go watch the film as soon as you can. I'm going to start by showing you my amazing top, which is not anything to do with the review, but I just want to show you my amazing Hot Topic top. And I also bought the soundtrack today, which is the HMV exclusive soundtrack, and it is amazing. When I open it up, it has a very shiny photo, and it does have a booklet, and it also has these really cool pictures as well. And these are the songs on the back. Frozen 2, where to start? I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed the film. The animation is beautiful. The songs are amazing. My particular favourites are Elsa's songs, obviously. Into the Unknown, Show Yourself, and I love Kristoff's song. Kristoff's song is so good. It's basically an 80s rock ballad and it is hilarious. Can't stop listening to its whole soundtrack. It is so good. So that is what I loved about Frozen 2. Also, the other main thing that I loved about Frozen 2 is that it's very Elsa-centric. The first one is very Anna-centric because it's Anna going after her sister to get her back. And this one's all about Elsa, and mainly Elsa trying to find the secrets of her past and an explanation for where her powers come from. Or at least I think that's the plot. I'm not sure. Olaf, what do you think? He's not saying much because Olaf doesn't know either, and he was in the film. I'm still struggling to understand and process the plot, and I saw this film a few days ago and I've had a few days to think about it. I haven't watched anyone else's reviews on this. I would really like to after I've done mine, but I didn't want to cloud my mind with other people's thoughts. I just wanted to process mine, which I still haven't done. So my review might be a little bit all over the place, and I do apologise if it is, but the main thing is the plot is just really convoluted. And guys, I have played the entirety of Kingdom Hearts. Even Kingdom Hearts is a lot more easier to explain than Frozen 2. It is really all over the place. I think that there's just too many plots going on at the same time. So there's the whole backstory with King Agnar and Queen Iduna. Then there's also the Northumbria tribe and the fact that they live in an enchanted forest with all magic. And there's Elsa trying to find herself. There's Kristoff, who wants to propose to Anna but just can't get the words out right. There's Anna, who's just... she's Anna. There's Olaf. He's actually got a little bit more mature in this film. He's a little bit more wiser. He has longer words that he likes to put together. There's Sven, who is just Sven, who is basically Kristoff. And there is some new characters. I can't say any of them were that interesting. I mean, Honey, Marin and Ryder I was really excited for because I saw a lot of pictures of them in the merchandise. And they turned out to be in one scene. Well, they're in more than one scene, but they don't really do much. So they were kind of a waste of time. The plot is all over the place. I was trying to explain it to my family and I was like, where do I even start? It's just... bleh. If there was a diagram, it'd be like... literally like that. I'll try and explain it, I'll break it down for you, but basically, Elsa starts hearing a voice, and like all sane people who hear voices, she decides to follow it after she accidentally unleashes some elemental magic on Arendelle and it threatens their safety of it. And then the trolls decide to come out of their hiding place and be like, you must go on a journey. And they decide to go into the enchanted forest, which apparently is impassable, but Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Sven and Olaf all managed to go into it. And there's people who have been trapped there for 30 years. But they just went into it. I mean, yeah, okay, they got caught up in some tornado and there was a bunch of other stuff that happened. And I really can't even begin to explain it. It's just really crazy. It's whack. Don't get me wrong, it is animated amazingly. And that's why it's so fun to watch, because there's just all this stuff happening. and none of it can be even explained. But yeah, they go into the Enchanted Forest, they find the tribe of Northumbrian people, they also find some Arendelle soldiers who have been trapped there for 30 years, and they know a few things about King Agnar when he was a prince, and that's how he met Queen Iduna, because she saved his life. There's this whole subplot with the dam, which is so confusing. If I was a child, it'd just go straight over my head. So going back to the whole Anna and Elsa trying to discover their past, they go to visit the wreck of their parents' ship, which seems like the biggest trigger ever. And they find some map thing there with Elsa's name written down with a question mark. It's got Altahallen, which is a magical, mystical river that their mother sung to them about when they were children. Elsa decides that she's going to go explore this magical Altahallen by herself. So she epically runs across this water, and there's this mystical water horse, and she manages to tame the water horse, and then she goes to Altahallen, and then she sings this amazing song, which is really, honestly, and I say this with that hint of sarcasm, it is actually amazing, and I love the whole of the show yourself scene and everything involved in it. It didn't make it less confusing. I still don't know who the voice is. Like, who is the voice that Elsa was following? Is it Queen Iduna? Is it Elsa herself? Is it some voice? Just some randomer? Like, who is it? Can someone explain, please? There's this one bit that I just find so ridiculous. Why does Elsa freeze to death temporarily? Why does that happen? Because Elsa said it herself, the cold doesn't bother her. So why would she freeze to death? All because she ventured too far into Altahallen? No, that's not how Elsa's magic works, or at least it hasn't worked like that up until now. So why is she frozen to death as she sees her grandfather, who, spoiler alert, is evil, kill someone? And I honestly think that the writers realised right towards the end of the film that they actually hadn't written a villain into this film, so they were like, who can we make a villain? Anna and Elsa's own family. Didn't see that one coming. But why would she freeze to death? Not before sending a magical ice message to Anna, who she apparently knew where she was to send that to? No, Anna was randomly in some random cave trying to find Elsa with Olaf, who then, spoiler alert, dies. Sorry, Olaf, you died. There's a big joke about that at the end of the film, it's fine. Like, Olaf makes a lot of amazing jokes, and honestly, this little guy saves most of the film with his comic relief. I'm just sat here confused, like, I'm still trying to process it all. And I'll tell you another thing that is never explained. Elsa's powers of dressmaking. How is she able to create beautiful ice dresses that aren't actually made of ice, they're actually made of material? Like, someone please tell me. I know I'm delving into this too much because at the end of the day, it's just a fun, family-friendly film, and it is at its heart a fun, family-friendly film, but I am that child who asks all the questions, all the important questions. How does this work? Because I need to know. If you're going to write a fantasy film, at least put some logic into it. At least don't create the plot holes that just don't make sense. Like the voice. How long did Elsa hear this voice for? Did she hear it all her life? Did she hear it in the last 3 years since the first film? Did she only just hear it at the beginning of Frozen 2? Like, where did the voice come from? I need to know. Now, let me tell you what I thought Frozen 2 was going to be. Now, I would definitely have expected from Frozen 2 to have elemental magic, because Frozen 1 is all about elemental magic with Elsa's ice powers. So there's a salamander, there's an actual wind, there's earth giants, and then there's the warhorse. And Elsa, who's a person. What I don't understand is the whole Elsa being the fifth elemental spirit. Would it not have been better to have actual people as the elements, so Elsa could find other people exactly like herself? I feel like there should have been another person that has fire powers, another person that has wind powers, earth powers, just like Witch. Did you guys ever read or watch Witch? Because I was obsessed with Witch as a child, and that was all about elemental magic, because ultimately, at the end of Frozen 2, she is still kind of alone. And I'm not saying that people need people, but actually people do need people. So She, at the end of the film, becomes the protector of the Enchanted Forest while Anna goes on to become Queen of Arendelle. And she's with the Northumbrian people, to be fair, who seem like fun. Ryder and Honey Marin seem like a good laugh if they had actually been given the screen time they deserved. Where were they? They were in all the merchandise. So is Matthias. Like, they were in all the merchandise. And there was like hardly any screen time for these characters. So I feel like we got introduced to them like, boom, new characters. But you're not gonna know anything about them. Apart from the fact that Ryder also talks to reindeer like Kristoff. And not gonna lie, I kind of ship them. And Ryder is pretty hot. So yeah, I feel like I've said as much as I can say about this. However, Frozen 2 is saved by its amazing soundtrack. Go buy it because the songs are amazing and you can sing your heart out to them, as I have been doing. And it's beautiful, like the animation is, and I am not exaggerating, among the best I've ever seen. The magic scenes are amazing with Elsa doing the magic and the other elements. All of that is really magic and I'm all about that. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. I will definitely watch it again. Does it have the best plot in the world? No. I guess what does? And it is really hard because with sequels, like with anything, are they ever going to be as good as the first? I mean, Shrek 2 was better, to be fair, but that's DreamWorks. So I don't feel like that is a fair comparison. However, yeah, I still love Frozen 1. I feel like Frozen 1 had the better plot because it's quite straightforward. It's about two sisters, sisterly love, finding yourself and being true to who you are. Whereas Frozen 2, if you ask me what the moral of that story was, it's follow random voices into the unknown. I really thought that maybe they'd go more towards the original fairy tale with the second film. Maybe introduce Kai or Gerda from the original Snow Queen. Maybe see that there's some other people with elemental powers who would have to go up against Elsa and she'd have to fight them, kind of like X-Men style. Yeah, that would have been good. Would you like to see an Elsa with a love interest? Would you like to see her with other people with elemental powers? Would you like to see Anna do something else other than become queen? Would you like to see Kristoff with Ryder? What ship would you like to have seen? Would you like to see some Kristoff Sven stuff? No, let's not go there. Okay, I'm gonna end that video here because that was a terrible note to end on. Okay, so let me know what you thought of Frozen 2. Leave it in the comments and we shall see you soon. Bye!